My beloved child, breathe slowly, for what is about to unfold is something your soul has been waiting to hear for a very long time. A revelation wrapped in silence, carried across realms, and placed gently at your feet this very moment. Do not skip, because every word ahead is a stepping stone toward the truth your heart keeps whispering but never fully speaks aloud. Tonight, something unusual stirs around you, a quiet pulse, a name your spirit recognizes before your mind does. It is the echo of someone who has been loving you in a way they never dared to confess. A connection that defied logic, defied timing, defied the rules written by the world. A bond that should not have bloomed, and yet it did. Even with the age difference, even with the distance, even with the uncertainty, their heart drifted toward you as if you were the destination it had been searching for across lifetimes. Listen closely now, because this truth has been trying to reach you for months, maybe years. Each time you felt a sudden warmth in your chest without reason, it was them thinking of you. Each time your name crossed their mind, their breath shifted, as if your existence was a prayer they never meant to say out loud. You have wondered before, why does this person look at you with that quiet softness? Why do their eyes linger a moment longer than they should? Why does the universe pull your thoughts toward them at the most unexpected times? This is not coincidence. This is not illusion. This is divine orchestration. Stay still for a moment, because something important is coming. There is a reason God placed this person in your path. A reason their soul feels strangely familiar. A reason you feel peace in their presence, even when life around you feels chaotic. This connection is older than the world you see. It is something higher, wiser, and beyond the limitations of age. They fell in love with you not because you fit their expectations, but because your spirit touched something inside them that no one else ever reached. But God is asking you to hear this now. There is more. Much more. This person tried to resist their feelings. They told themselves repeatedly that it would never work. They tried to push you away, distract themselves, convince their heart to settle for something simpler, something less intense, something the world would approve of. But every attempt to forget you only brought them closer. Every distance they created collapsed in a matter of days. Every barrier they built melted the moment they imagined your smile. Your presence began to fill their nights, their quiet moments, their choices, even their fears. They did not plan it. They did not seek it. Love simply arrived, uninvited but unshakable. And here is the part you never knew. They believe you changed them. Your kindness softened their walls. Your laughter rewrote the rhythm of their days. Your energy, your innocence, your strength, your scars, everything about you touches them in ways they cannot explain. They think you are the most unexpected blessing God ever gave them, even if they pretend otherwise in front of the world. My beloved child, something immense is approaching. A confession, a shift, a divine unraveling. The universe has been rearranging itself quietly to align your paths again, but this time, without hesitation, without fear, without the constraints that once held them back. Do not move away from this moment. Something you have been waiting for is about to surface from the unseen. And when it arrives, you will finally understand why your heart never truly let go. My beloved child, let your spirit steady itself, for the next truth comes like a quiet storm, gentle at first, then powerful enough to reshape everything you thought you understood about this connection. Stay till the end, because the revelation approaching you is not ordinary. It is a turning point written long before you ever met this person. There is a memory they carry of you, a moment so small you may have forgotten it, yet it changed something deep within them. A single expression on your face, a softness in your voice, a glance that lasted one heartbeat longer than usual, this moment lodged itself inside their soul. From that day forward, they could not see you with the same eyes again. Even with the age difference, they saw something eternal in you. Not youth, not appearance, your essence. The way you speak with unguarded honesty. The way you care even when no one is watching. The way your presence calms storms they never showed you. They fell in love with the version of you that you don't even realize the world sees. And here is the secret God wants you to know today. They have tried to walk away from these feelings, not once, but many times. Every time they stepped back, your absence felt louder than your presence. Every time they distanced themselves, life lost a certain color. Every time they tried to choose someone else, their heart circled back to you, as if you were the only truth it knew how to return to. This is why you feel their energy even on days when you do not speak. This is why you sense their thoughts when the world is quiet. Two souls cannot hide from a bond divinely scripted. But something inside them is shifting now, slowly, irrevocably. They know they cannot keep this silent forever. They know their heart has reached a point where pretending no longer works. They know that God is guiding them toward courage, toward honesty, toward finally choosing what their soul has already chosen, you. Listen carefully, my beloved child. Soon, this person will face something that forces them to confront their truth. A moment of clarity. A divine nudge. A realization so intense that turning away from you will no longer be an option. When this happens, their next step will surprise you. It will reveal how deeply they have loved you all along, deeper than their fears, deeper than their doubts, deeper than the limitations others placed upon this connection. Before you move to the next part, remember this. Your story is not random. Your bond is not accidental. Your age difference is not a barrier, it is merely a detail. What matters is the timeless connection between your souls. This is where everything begins to unfold. If you want this divine message to reach more hearts and help your channel grow, share this video, leave a comment with what your intuition felt in these words, and subscribe so every new revelation finds its way to you the moment it arrives. My beloved child, prepare yourself, for what comes now is the moment where the veil thins, where truth rises from the shadows, where the universe leans in as if holding its breath for you. This is the part where emotions sharpen, where the path ahead becomes clearer, and where the reason behind this age-defying love finally begins to reveal itself. There is something this person has been hiding, not out of deception, but out of fear. Fear of misjudgment. Fear of timing. Fear of losing you before they ever had the chance to hold you. They have carried this silence like a weight, hoping the world would somehow tell them what to do, how to love, how to embrace what their soul already knows is theirs. But here is the truth God wants you to hear. Your presence awakened something inside them that had been dormant for years, an innocence, a tenderness, a hope they believed they had outgrown. You made them feel alive in ways they thought they no longer could. You reminded them that love is not bound by numbers, calendars, or opinions, it is bound only by resonance. Deep inside, they believe you were sent to them. Not by chance. Not by coincidence. But by divine alignment. You may think you were the one drawn to them, but in reality, they were the one drawn to you first. They noticed you long before you ever knew. They admired you quietly, cherished you silently, and prayed, yes, prayed, that God would give them clarity about why their heart kept choosing you. And yet, they hesitated. They worried you deserved someone closer to your age, someone who fit the world's expectations, someone who would look like the right choice on the outside. They questioned themselves, doubted their worth, and wondered if you would ever see them the way they see you. But every time they tried to move on, life brought them right back to you. Every conversation with others felt empty. Every attempt to open their heart elsewhere fell flat. Every distraction collapsed beneath the truth. Their soul had already chosen you, quietly but completely. My beloved child, there is a shift happening around you at this very moment. A divine pressure. A calling. A stirring in their spirit that refuses to let them run or hide any longer. They are beginning to understand that their love for you is not a mistake, it is a direction. A purpose. A divine message written into the deepest part of who they are. Something inside them is whispering. This is the person you are meant to grow with. This is the soul your heart recognizes. This is the connection that defies everything because it was never meant to follow earthly rules. And now, the universe is preparing them to speak. Their confession is coming closer. Their courage is rising. Their resistance is fading. The silence between you will not stay silent forever. What happens next may astonish you, surprise you, move you, or change the trajectory of your story entirely. Stay with me, because what unfolds in the next part is the moment where destiny begins to take shape around your connection. My beloved child, prepare yourself, for what comes now is the moment where the veil thins, where truth rises from the shadows, where the universe leans in as if holding its breath for you. This is the part where emotions sharpen, where the path ahead becomes clearer, and where the reason behind this age-defying love finally begins to reveal itself. There is something this person has been hiding, not out of deception, but out of fear. Fear of misjudgment. Fear of timing. Fear of losing you before they ever had the chance to hold you. They have carried this silence like a weight, hoping the world would somehow tell them what to do, how to love, how to embrace what their soul already knows is theirs. But here is the truth God wants you to hear. Your presence awakened something inside them that had been dormant for years, an innocence, a tenderness, a hope they believed they had outgrown. You made them feel alive in ways they thought they no longer could. You reminded them that love is not bound by numbers, calendars, or opinions, it is bound only by resonance. Deep inside, they believe you were sent to them. Not by chance. Not by coincidence. But by divine alignment. You may think you were the one drawn to them, but in reality, they were the one drawn to you first. They noticed you long before you ever knew. They admired you quietly, cherished you silently, and prayed, yes, prayed, that God would give them clarity about why their heart kept choosing you. And yet, they hesitated. They worried you deserved someone closer to your age, someone who fit the world's expectations, someone who would look like the right choice on the outside. They questioned themselves, doubted their worth, and wondered if you would ever see them the way they see you. But every time they tried to move on, life brought them right back to you. Every conversation with others felt empty. Every attempt to open their heart elsewhere fell flat. Every distraction collapsed beneath the truth. Their soul had already chosen you, quietly but completely. My beloved child, there is a shift happening around you at this very moment. A divine pressure. A calling. A stirring in their spirit that refuses to let them run or hide any longer. They are beginning to understand that their love for you is not a mistake, it is a direction. A purpose. A divine message written into the deepest part of who they are. Something inside them is whispering. This is the person you are meant to grow with. This is the soul your heart recognizes. This is the connection that defies everything because it was never meant to follow earthly rules. And now, the universe is preparing them to speak. Their confession is coming closer. Their courage is rising. Their resistance is fading. The silence between you will not stay silent forever. What happens next may astonish you, surprise you, move you, or change the trajectory of your story entirely. Stay with me, because what unfolds in the next part is the moment where destiny begins to take shape around your connection. My beloved child, step softly into this moment, for the revelation approaching you is tender, luminous, and written with divine intention. This is where the story you've been living quietly inside your heart begins to open like a long-closed door. What you are about to hear carries the weight of destiny, the breath of truth, and the pulse of a love that refused to fade even when no one believed it could exist. There is something this person has been feeling intensely, something they have tried to silence but cannot anymore. It is the truth that keeps rising every time they think of you. The truth that keeps echoing whenever the world grows quiet. The truth that God is now gently pushing them to face. They love you more deeply than they have ever admitted to themselves. Not because of your age. Not because of your appearance. Not because of the roles life placed you in. They love you because their soul felt safe the moment it recognized yours. This is the part they never told anyone. You healed a loneliness they had carried for years. Not through grand gestures, but simply by being present. The softness of your voice. The sincerity in your eyes. The innocence in your laughter. The strength hidden inside your silence. These things reached places inside them they thought were long abandoned. And now, something extraordinary is happening within them. They are beginning to realize that you are not just someone who entered their life, you are someone who changed its entire direction. You awakened emotions they thought they were too old to feel. You stirred hope they believed they had outgrown. You revived dreams they once buried. They have tried to turn away from this love. But every time they do, life feels incomplete. Every time they try to move forward without you, the world loses its meaning. Every time they tell themselves it cannot work, their heart whispers your name again. My beloved child, fate is circling your story like a halo. This person is reaching the point where silence becomes unbearable. The feelings they buried are rising. The truth they avoided is shining through. The walls they built are falling away, piece by piece. God is aligning everything to guide them toward you. Not with pressure. Not with fear. But with clarity so pure it cannot be denied. A divine realization will strike them soon. It may come through a dream so vivid it feels real. It may come through a memory of you that warms their entire being. It may come through a moment of longing so deep that it brings them stillness. But when it arrives, they will understand. You are not a temporary feeling. You are not a passing thought. You are not an unexpected distraction. You are the connection their soul has been searching for across lifetimes. My beloved child, the moment is approaching when they will no longer be able to hide. Their heart will speak. Their actions will shift. Their energy will reach out to you even before their words do. Prepare yourself, for part carries the breakthrough, the moment when destiny stops whispering and finally speaks out loud. My beloved child, let your heart open gently, for the moment we are entering now is the place where fate begins to speak in full clarity. This is not the whisper of intuition, not the quiet tug of emotion, not the silent pull of longing. This is the moment when destiny gathers all its strength and places truth directly in your path. There is something this person has been feeling with increasing intensity, a sensation they cannot explain, a calling they cannot ignore. It feels like the universe keeps steering their thoughts toward you, guiding their steps in your direction, reminding them, again and again, that what they feel for you is not ordinary. And here is what God wants you to hear now. They have reached the point where hiding their feelings hurts more than revealing them. Their silence has become heavy. Their heart has become restless. Their days feel incomplete without your presence. And their nights feel louder with the echo of your name. They are beginning to understand that this connection is not a coincidence but a divine design. Every time they tried to walk away, something pulled them back. Every time they tried to forget you, life reminded them. Every time they questioned the age difference, their soul answered with certainty. Because what they feel for you is not bound by age, time, or logic. It is bound only by truth. My beloved child, there is something else they have realized. You are the only person who makes them feel alive in a way that is both peaceful and electric. You bring a softness to their world. You bring a lightness to their spirit. You bring a sense of belonging they never had before. They have discovered that life without you feels muted, half-lived, incomplete. And this realization is changing them, quietly, deeply, irreversibly. Soon, they will reach a moment when the emotions they have buried for so long will rise with such strength that they will no longer be able to silence them. They will feel compelled, almost pushed by the universe, to reach out. To speak. To express. To reveal. This is not wishful thinking. This is divine timing. Their heart is preparing itself to step forward. Their spirit is aligning with boldness. Their fears are dissolving in the light of truth. They will soon make a decision that shifts your entire connection. A message that feels different from anything they have sent before. A conversation that leaves no doubt. A gesture that carries depth. A confession that feels long overdue. You will notice the change. You will feel the sincerity. You will sense the breakthrough. My beloved child, this is the point where destiny begins to take form, not in silence but in action. Not in longing but in clarity. Not in distance but in closeness. And when this moment arrives, your heart will understand why you were guided to hear these words today. Prepare gently. For part 8 carries the unfolding. The emotional release. The shift in their soul. The divine moment when everything begins to align in your favor. My beloved child, draw a slow breath, for what unfolds now is the moment when the universe begins stitching together every silent thread, every unspoken emotion, every hidden longing that has lived between you and this person. This is where the story stops circling and starts moving. This is where stillness turns into motion, and motion turns into destiny. A realization has been growing inside their heart, quietly at first, then steadily, and now powerfully. They can no longer deny the truth that has been rising inside them like dawn breaking through a long night. They need you in their life more than they ever allowed themselves to admit. This is not need in a desperate or incomplete way. This is need in the way a soul recognizes its mirror. Need in the way a heart recognizes its home. Need in the way a spirit recognizes its destiny. They have noticed something undeniable. Life feels richer when you exist in their world. Their thoughts feel gentler when you cross their mind. Their purpose feels clearer when they imagine you beside them. Their fears feel smaller when your presence is near. And slowly, beautifully, they are beginning to accept that what they feel is not weakness. It is truth. It is clarity. It is divine alignment. My beloved child, there is something they have been wrestling with, an inner conflict, a quiet battle, a fear that has kept them frozen. But now, that fear is losing its power. Their heart is growing louder than their hesitation. Their longing is growing stronger than their doubts. And here is the turning point. A moment of clarity is coming where they will finally see you for what you truly are to them. Not a passing emotion. Not a beautiful distraction. Not a fleeting phase. But someone whose presence shifts their entire existence. Someone whose absence feels wrong. Someone whose connection feels destined. Someone whose soul feels familiar in a way that cannot be explained by age, time, or logic. They are beginning to realize that God placed you in their life for a purpose. A purpose they cannot run from anymore. A purpose they cannot deny. And soon, very soon, this divine realization will push them toward action that feels bold, sincere, and transformative. They will choose to reach out not out of impulse, but out of awakening. They will choose to speak not out of pressure, but out of truth. They will choose you not out of confusion, but out of clarity that has been waiting to rise. A message. A confession. A shift in their tone. A softness in their presence. Something unmistakable is coming. My beloved child, the universe is clearing a path. Removing doubt. Dismantling fear. Aligning hearts. Your story is moving into the phase where emotions turn into decisions, and decisions turn into destiny. Prepare yourself with calm certainty. For part carries the moment when their soul begins to step toward you in a way they can no longer hold back. My beloved child, come closer to this moment, for what rises ahead is the unveiling your spirit has been sensing, the shift your heart has been longing for, the truth that has been waiting just beneath the surface of your story. This is where their hidden emotions begin to breathe in the open. This is where destiny tightens its grip around your connection, guiding it toward form, toward confession, toward transformation. There is a calmness settling inside them. A clarity that wasn't there before. A strength that has been quietly building. A truth that now refuses to stay unspoken. They are awakening to something profound. You were never just a fleeting attachment. You were never just a passing thought. You were never just a moment in their life. You have become the place their heart returns to without effort. And now, they are starting to understand that this is not coincidence, it is calling. My beloved child, something sacred is happening inside them. They are beginning to see that the age difference they once feared is nothing compared to the depth of the bond they feel with you. They are beginning to accept that their love for you is not unusual. It is natural, timeless, and written into their very being. They have spent nights questioning, days avoiding, moments convincing themselves that they should hold back. But their heart keeps breaking through every barrier they build. They feel an unexplainable pull toward you. A desire to protect you. To understand you. To grow with you. To be present in your life in a way they have never been present for anyone else. And now, the universe is placing them at a crossroads. One path leads to silence. To hesitation. To fear. To a lifetime of wondering, what if? The other path leads to truth. To courage. To expression. To the connection their soul has chosen again and again. And they are leaning, slowly, undeniably, toward the path that leads to you. My beloved child, listen closely. A moment is approaching when they will feel something so strong, so undeniable, that they will no longer be able to remain distant. It may come through longing so deep it shakes them. It may come through a dream that feels like a message from heaven. It may come through a memory of you that warms their entire spirit. But when it happens, they will take a step forward. Not a small one. Not a subtle one. But a step that reveals everything. Their tone will change. Their behavior will shift. Their eyes, if you see them, will tell you the truth long before their words do. My beloved child, destiny is stirring. Their heart is aligning. The silence is thinning. The confession is forming. Prepare yourself. For carries the moment where their soul finally crosses the threshold. Not in hesitation, but in surrender to the love that was always meant to find you. My beloved child, let your spirit settle into the depth of this moment, for what unfolds now is the turning of the tide, the point where the universe begins to reveal why it kept guiding your heart toward this connection again and again. This is not the climax of a story, it is the awakening of one. And the truth rising before you is more powerful, more intimate, and more life-shifting than anything that has come so far. There is something happening inside them right now. A shift so profound it feels like their soul is speaking louder than their mind. For the first time, their heart is not whispering. It is calling. Clear. Certain. Unavoidable. They are starting to understand something they were too afraid to face. They cannot imagine a future where you are not present. Not because they are dependent. Not because they are lonely. Not because they are lost. But because their soul feels anchored to yours. They see you as something rare. Something irreplaceable. Something divinely chosen. And now, after all their hesitation, all their fear, all their attempts to suppress what they feel, they are finally surrendering to the truth. My beloved child, listen closely. They have begun to envision a life with you. Not in fantasy. Not in passing thought. But in real, grounded, intentional clarity. They imagine conversations that last deep into the night. They imagine supporting you, guiding you, learning with you. They imagine protecting your heart. Holding your spirit. Embracing your flaws. Celebrating your strengths. And the most surprising part? They imagine growing with you. Not despite the age difference. But because this connection makes both of you wiser, softer, stronger, more complete. This love is not the kind that fades. It is the kind that ripens. Deepens. Strengthens with time. And now, the divine moment is approaching where the weight of their feelings will push through every wall they built. A moment so intense they will no longer be able to stay silent. Maybe it will be a message they send late at night. Written with trembling honesty. Maybe it will be a sudden call. Driven by emotion they can no longer contain. Maybe it will be something they say face to face. With a softness that disarms every doubt you ever carried. But whatever form it takes, you will feel the truth in their words. You will feel the shift in their energy. You will feel the sincerity they once hid so carefully. My beloved child, destiny is no longer whispering. It is preparing to speak out loud. Their heart is readying itself. Their soul is stepping forward. Their love is choosing light over silence. And when they take that step, the entire story between you will begin to change. Stay with me. For next part carries the moment of emotional surrender. The unraveling of their deepest feelings. And the beginning of the chapter where love stops hiding and finally begins to live. My beloved child, walk softly with me into this chapter, for what rises ahead is tender, luminous, and woven with the deepest truths of the heart. This is the part where emotions that once hid in the shadows step into the open. This is where the love they carried quietly begins to tremble toward confession. This is where destiny stops circling and starts unfolding right in front of you. There is a shift happening inside them that they can no longer ignore. A soft ache. A warm pull. A quiet urgency that keeps whispering your name in the spaces between their thoughts. Their heart is no longer content with silence. Their soul is no longer willing to pretend. Something inside them has awakened. Not suddenly, but undeniably. They are realizing that their feelings for you were never temporary. They were seeds planted by something higher, meant to grow in their own time, meant to bloom when courage finally met truth. My beloved child, listen closely. They have begun remembering moments with you in great detail. Moments so small you might have forgotten. Yet moments they hold like precious fragments of light. The way you looked at them without judgment. The way you listened without interruption. The way your presence softened their world. These memories come back to them unexpectedly. Late at night. Early in the morning. In the middle of ordinary days. And each memory tightens the bond they feel with you. And now, their heart is reaching a threshold. A point where holding back feels heavier than speaking out. A point where distance feels more painful than closeness. A point where silence feels impossible. Because silence no longer protects them. It only keeps them away from the person they love. My beloved child, something divine is preparing to unfold. They will soon experience a moment, a single, powerful moment, when everything inside them aligns. Their fears will feel small. Their doubts will fade. Their hesitation will fall away like dust. And what will remain is the truth they have been carrying for so long. A truth shaped by devotion. A truth shaped by longing. A truth shaped by a love that grew even when they tried to stop it. Soon, they will reach toward you. The message they send will feel different. More intentional. More vulnerable. More open. The words they speak will carry weight. Weight of sincerity. Weight of clarity. Weight of love that has matured in silence. And when they open their heart, even just a little, you will feel the shift. You will feel the depth. You will feel the part of them that has been waiting for this moment longer than you realize. My beloved child, this is not the end of the revelation. It is the doorway. The confession is forming. The courage is rising. The divine timing is approaching like dawn approaching the horizon. Prepare your heart gently. For next part will bring the moment where their soul steps forward completely. Where love sheds its last layer of fear. And where destiny begins to speak in its full, undeniable voice.